Hi there, my name's Sadia and welcome to Recipes for Littlies. Growing up, my mum would always make two chicken curries, either a chicken korma, which I have already shown you, so I'll link that up above if you haven't seen it, and the other version is quintessential Bangladeshi chicken curry. Every family would have a slightly different version of this. Today I'll be showing you one that's based on my mum's. These are the ingredients that you'll need, and as always listed in the description box below. Like all Bangladeshi curries, we start off with a lot of onions. I've just sliced the onions in half so it will fit nicely in the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you could always just use a sharp knife to slice up the onions. The fumes of these onions are really strong. I recommend you having the windows open when you're cooking this recipe. The onions all sliced up, so now we're ready to head over to the stove. To get this curry started, I'm just going to put the pan on a high heat and then pop in a few tablespoons of oil. So now that the oil has heated up, we're just going to add in the onions and the salt. Adding in the salt now will help those onions soften. I can see the onions are starting to soften and becoming a little bit translucent, so now's a great time to add in the whole spices and the ginger and garlic. I'm using a fresh garlic and ginger paste. So the whole spices, it's the same as the chicken korma, just some cassia bark and also some cardamon pods. These onions have been cooking for another 5 minutes, so we're just going to check on it. Now's a great time to add in the ground spices. I can see that the onions have cooked down. So in this curry, we're just using some really basic Bangladeshi spices, ground coriander, ground cumin, add in a little bit of chilli, but not too much, some paprika and a little bit of turmeric. And then we're just going to give all those spices a mix. And now I'm going to increase the heat to a high and add in the chicken. I use chicken drumsticks because it's my daughter's favourite cut of meat. I think as a toddler, drumsticks are great because you can just grab it with your hand and chew on it, and it's quite a fun thing to do. So the chicken's sort of been sitting there for a little bit. I'm just going to give it a mix. You basically want to give a chance for all sides of the chicken to fry up a little bit and to start to get coated in that lovely onion spice mix that we've been working on. And we're going to continue to cook this chicken until some of those chicken juices release into the onions, and that's going to be the base of creating a really lovely flavoursome curry. I'm just going to check on the chicken. Okay, so that's looking really good. I can see that the onions have cooked down and almost looks a little bit like an onion jam. So some of those chicken juices have already absorbed into the onions. Add in a little bit of boiling water is because I don't want to reduce the temperature of this curry too much. And you can see as I've added in the water, it's turning the onions into a lovely thick sauce. All I'm going to do is reduce the heat to a low heat or medium low at max. You just want the chicken to finish cooking at a gentle simmer. Well, that's looking really, really good and it's smelling lovely. Just want to show you the texture of the sauce, so it just sort of falls off the spoon. And this chicken just smells so good. To me, it looks like the chicken is cooked. The way that I can tell this is because the chicken has pulled away from the bone. The other way of checking whether the chicken is cooked is using a meat thermometer. You want to make sure that the chicken is coming out at least 74 degrees Celsius or 165 Fahrenheit. Looking like they're cooked, so I'm going to turn this heat off now. I'm just going to taste the sauce just to see if it needs any more seasoning. that is perfect. It's not too spicy, it's a really mild curry, but you can taste the complexity of the spices. Once the chicken curry is cooked, I do like removing the cardamom pods. If you've ever bitten into a cardamom pod, it is really, really awful and can turn you off curry really. So it's done its job, so I like removing them. Okay, so those whole spices are removed, and there you go. There's a delicious basic Bangladeshi chicken curry that I hope you'll try at home. Now it's time for my top tips. Number 1, spend enough time frying the onions and spices. This will give the curry a delicious depth of flavour. Number 2, count the number of cardamom pods you're adding to the curry. This will make it easier to remove at the end. And number 3, use bone-in chicken as it provides far more flavour. But if you do want to make this curry with fillets, I recommend using thighs and replace the water with chicken stock to enhance the flavour. Thanks so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you'd like to see more Bangladeshi recipes, let me know by liking this video or leaving a comment below. And if you do make this curry, I'd love for you to snap a picture and tag me on Instagram because I love seeing your photos. Until next time, keep cooking!